Now let us see position vector of a particle. What is meant by position vector? Position vector is the position of a particle at any point with respect to origin. We always calculate the position or mention the position of a particle or an object with respect to any origin. Now let us see the position vector here. You see, consider a particle or an object at point P. Position vector of this object or particle with respect to origin is r vector. R vector is the position vector. So the particle, it is at the point P. This is the xy plane, vertical plane. This is the x-axis. This is y-axis. I cap is the unit vector along x-axis. J cap is the unit vector along y-axis. Now the particle is there at the point P at any point of time t. Position vector of a particle at any point of time t is r vector equal to x I cap plus y j cap. I cap is the unit vector along x direction. J cap is the unit vector along y direction. So here, this x and y are the coordinates of the particle at point P. So this x is along x axis. This is the x distance. And this distance along y axis y. Therefore P x comma y. So position vector of the particle at point P, we can write r vector equal to x I cap plus y j cap. Let the particle move from the point P to point P dash. At any point of time T dash, the particle is at point P dash. The particle or the object is at point P dash at any point of time T dash. Therefore, let the particle move along the curve. Let the particle move along the curve. This is actually the displacement. Let the particle move along the curve and reach here. Therefore, the displacement is del r vector from P to P dash. P dash vector is del r vector, is the displacement of the particle. So when the particle, after reaching at P dash, right, at any point of time, we can represent del, this is P dash, therefore I write here OP dash. At any point of time T dash, the particle is at P dash. P dash del P dash OP dash vector. OP dash vector is equal to OP vector plus PP dash vector according to triangle law of vector addition. This is a triangle. Therefore, OP dash vector equal to OP vector plus P dash vector. Therefore, OP dash vector equal to OP vector plus P dash vector. OP vector is R vector. This is OP vector is R vector from here to here, R vector plus del R vector. Del R vector is P dash vector. P dash vector is the displacement del R vector. Therefore, OP dash vector equal to OP vector plus PP dash vector, that is equal to R vector plus del R vector. But OP dash vector from OP dash O to P, OP dash vector is here because the coordinates of point of the particle when it is at point P dash is x dash y dash. Therefore, OP dash vector equal to R dash vector. This OP dash vector is R dash vector. R dash vector is equal to OP dash vector is equal to R dash vector x dash I cap plus y dash j cap. Because x dash is the coordinate of point P dash. This distance is x dash. From here to here, x dash. This is x dash. Then along the y axis, this is y dash. From here to here, this is point P. Point P dash, x dash, y dash. Y dash is from here to here. This is y dash. Therefore, OP dash vector equal to r dash vector, that is equal to x dash I cap plus y dash j cap. I cap is the unit vector along x axis, j cap is the unit vector along y axis. Therefore, substitute here in this equation OP dash. OP dash vector is r dash vector x dash I cap plus y dash j cap. Therefore, x dash I cap plus y dash j cap is equal to OP dash vector is equal to OP vector. OP vector is x I cap plus y j cap plus PP dash vector. PP dash vector is del r vector plus del r vector. Therefore, from this I can write del r vector, because we want to find out the displacement vector del r vector. We have to find out the displacement vector from here to here. When the particle moves from point P to P dash, this is the it is the displacement del r vector. Therefore, del r vector equal to this thing. From here you can take, this is del r vector. From here take del r vector. Del r vector equal to x dash I cap plus y dash j cap minus this thing x I cap plus y j cap. Right. Therefore, del r vector is the displacement vector, that is PP dash vector equal to, from here x dash I cap minus of x I cap. Therefore, x dash minus x I cap plus y dash j cap minus of y j cap. Therefore, plus y dash minus y j cap. X dash minus x is del x. Therefore, and y dash minus y is del y. So this is del y. From here to here is y dash. From here to here is y. Therefore, y dash minus y is del y. Here like this. From here to here is x dash. From here to here is x. Therefore, this is del x. The difference is del x. Therefore, or del r vector equal to del x I cap plus del y j cap. So this is the displacement vector from the given position vectors. That is, the position vectors of an object at two different points are given. We can find out the displacement vector when it moves. This is called position and displacement vector. This comes in chapter 3 in class 11, motion in plane.